In Sahaja Yoga, our journey resembles a steady climb up a steep road. If we don't keep moving forward, we risk slipping back. And if we move sideways, we might fall down. It's up to us whether we keep pushing forward, take a detour, or just pause for a breather. But one thing is for sure, negativity doesn't take a break. While in the past one had to deal with only one demon at a time, which was kind of manageable, today countless negative forces infiltrate our minds, trying to throw us off course. Moreover, these modern challenges aren't straightforward. Negativity acts in many subtle ways, and we can't simply fight them off directly. It is more a game of uncovering and outsmarting those sneaky negative forces and letting the power of the Ekadesha Rudra take its course. We are in a state of thoughtless awareness. We are untouchable. Negativity doesn't stand a chance. And the Ekadesha Rudra protect us like a fortress. Plus, the more we spread love and compassion, the stronger our Ekadesha becomes. And the more collective we become, the more our Ekadesha will act. The Ekadesha Rudra consists of the 11 destructive powers of the incarnations: Buddha, Mahavira, Jesus Christ, Mahabhairava, Mahaganesha, Mahahanumana, Mahakartikeya, Shiva Parvati, Lakshmi Narayana, Brahmadeva Saraswati, and Hiranyagarbha. Five Rudras come from the right side of the void and settle on your left side of the forehead, and 5 Rudras come from the left side of your void and settle on your right side. It's their job to destroy all those things which are not required anymore. In the center is the destructive power of Hiranyagarbha, which is the collective Brahmadeva. When this power starts acting, the whole atomic energy goes into destructive power. The Ekadesha Rudra is immensely potent, but it is not blind. It is aiming to eradicate what's no longer needed. It's precise, targeting only negativity and avoiding any collateral damage. It hits at the right time, at the right point, directly, without hitting anything that is good in between. But wait, there's more. The Ekadesha Rudra isn't just about external threats. It can also help us battle our own inner demons. For example, if you have bowed to the wrong gurus, or if you believe in false knowledge, the 5 Rudras that come from the right side of the void will start to act. On the other hand, if you think that you are a big guru yourself, the 5 Rudras that come from the left side of your void will carry out their duties. Thankfully, we've got the vibrations. They can make us aware of the state of our Ekadesha and can guide us to make corrections before the divine has to step in. The vibrations help us to identify falsehood, negative things, and what is real. Also, when it comes to decision making, mental, emotional, and physical considerations can lead us astray. But if we just tune into the vibrations, consult with the spirit, we can trust that we are tapping into absolute knowledge beyond all the noise of the world. To clear our Ekadesha Rudra, we can give our forehead a gentle massage, recite the 11 names of the Ekadesha, or work on our void by giving it vibrations, paving the way for profound spiritual transformation.
But today is a special day where we are going to use the power of Ekadasha to do the parivartan, means the transformation. It is not for destruction but for transformation. It's such a day to be here in New York where we use the destructive powers for the transformation of human beings. So it's a very great day today that we are going to transform people by the manifestation of the Ekadasha. And they are 11 placed over your forehead here, and you know how they work out. So these 10 come out of destructive powers of the void. Void has got 10 destructive powers also. Out of those 10, the destructive part settles down here. So when a person is on his destruction, say for example a cancer is setting, then you might feel a throb here at the apex of your void, the throb. And it doesn't logically means that if there's a throb there's a cancer. But if there's a cancer there will be a throbbing here going on. That means the force of life is trying to push it. But the obstruction there starts accumulating on both the sides. And in the center is the center of Vishuddhi, of the Virat, where Sri Krishna has become the Virat, the great primordial. So this is the 11th part of destruction. He has a power called Samhara Shakti by which he kills people. So before killing them and finishing them off, in the compassion of your mother, we have to first try to transform them. If they cannot be transformed, then it's all right. Then Ekadasha takes over. So these 11 very great destructive powers will be used by the Kalaki, the one who is going to manifest on a white horse. Before that, today is a very great day, that these powers we are going to use for transformation. Now how can destructive powers be used for transformation? First of all, when people know that there are destructive powers manifesting, they start fearing. They get afraid that we will be destroyed, so we must take to God. That's one of the ways. Secondly, if a person comes to know about any destructive disease like cancer, he wants to find out a method. And there is no method available on a human level. So then he thinks of God and wants to come nearer. The fear brings him closer to God. He depends on God more than on his rationality, than on his ego or something. And he wants to depend on God's powers to cure him or to save him from this destruction. Because he is now on the brink of destruction. As soon as cancer is set in, he knows that there's no end to it and he has to be destroyed. So this is another way people take to transformation, to change their attitudes, to change their value systems. I have known of many husbands or wives who got cancer and their counterparts became very mild, gentle, kindly, romantic. They tried to give all the love, all the protection, all the good things to a person who is going to die now of Ekadashi. So a kind of a transforming temperament starts coming in a man, that he sees that the person with whom he has lived all his life is now going to be no more. So a kind of beautiful feelings towards the person of giving whatever you have beautiful within you starts, and that's how people develop another kind of personality which was never apparent before. So all the harshness and the aggressiveness drops out and all the sweetness starts pouring in. So the compassion in a man is awakened, by which he gets transformed. Many people who lost their relations, kith and kin, become much more gentle, kindlier, because Ekadasha has expressed its awe. And also another kind of a fear comes into the mind of the people, that tomorrow this can happen to me also. So I must do something about it. So at this time, Sahaja Yoga helps them a lot. They come to Sahaja Yoga because such an emergency is created within themselves. And thus they are rushed for their transformation to Sahaja Yoga. But there's another subtler way this destructive force helps us, by destroying all that is negative within us. Because unless and until that negative is destroyed within us, we cannot become people who can enter into the kingdom of God. We have our ego, we have our superego, and both can be represented here. When you have your ego, very much great ego, then you will find a big blob like ego coming out on this side, a very big one here. Or if you have a superego, you can see another big thing jutting out on the plane here. So on both the sides you might get both the things if both the sympathetic are overactive. If you are not a very collective person, also you might get a blob here. So you might get all the things filled up with your ego, superego, and this Virata's center again blown up, in a way that a person develops a face like a monster sometimes. This portion becomes too big, thick, jutting out. There's a character I've seen like that. I think it is Frankenstein or someone. Is it? Yeah, Frankenstein. Yes, that has come from the unconscious, the Frankenstein character. All this is swollen up, jutting out, and this place like that. That's really the one that happens to human beings when he becomes a devil himself. So this is how the Ekadasha works within us to destroy our negativity within us. In India, so many people fast on this for atonement. On the 11th day is very common. You must do Ekadashi. All the Hindus and all these people do Ekadashi. That is, the 11th day they don't eat anything at all. But you shouldn't do it after the advent of your mother. Because I am the Ekadasha myself. So why should you do it now when I've come? It was done when I was not here just to call me. So now I'm back here. You need not do this anymore, the penance of Ekadasha. But you have to be careful. Now Ekadasha comes, as I told you, from the void. So firstly it comes when you accept someone as your guru. Say, who are false, who are anti-God, anti-Christ. So you develop a kind of a thickness on this side when it is the person whom you are worshipping as a guru or respecting as a guru, who is a guru to you, who is not really a guru. So you develop a super-ego which shows on this side, this part. Now the other side of it shows when a person says, I am my own guru, I'm practicing my own meditation, I have nothing to do with anybody's guidance, I'm quite alright as I am. Such a person develops the other half. So you have this half developed because of that, and this half developed because of the superego that you get through these false and fake gurus. Now what happens sometimes, that when you get involved into this kind of superego behavior, at that time it so happens that you might take over from them and start using it for your ego. That's the worst time for it. At that time, what you do is to act like the devils yourself. And once you start doing that, your Ekadasha is completely finished. And then I don't think it's easy to get rid of it. It's very difficult. But if it is one-sided, it's much easier. So today is the day which is called as the Ekadasha, which is going to bring the transformation. When you are transformed, so many things are automatically destroyed within you. As you can see very clearly, that all your misidentifications drop off. The misidentification that I am an American, that I am a Christian, or I am a Jew, I am this, I am that, all these false misidentifications drop off. And you become a naked human being. First of all, you are a human being, and then a superhuman being without the ego. Without the ego. So your ego is destroyed, your superego is destroyed, your conditionings are destroyed, and all your false ideas about knowledge are destroyed. So what remains and emerges out is the reality.
Attention! Now we have a carton.
Cartoon! It's called cartoon!
Attention! Now we have a carton.
If you would be in charge of heaven, what would you choose to make it run peacefully and smoothly? Easy. I would make the English policemen put the French in charge of cooking, have the Germans to be the mechanics, the poets, of course, would be from Italy, and I would leave the overall organization to the Swiss. Oh, but what if the cooks were English, the car mechanics French, the policemen German, the poets from Switzerland, and the whole thing would be organized by the Italians? That, my friend, would be hell.
Thank you for watching our video. Sri Mataji's words are the true source of our knowledge. We hope they have been communicated in the right context for our series on advanced Sahaja Yoga themes. Please subscribe so you can join us next time when we present a new topic. Jai Shri Mataji.